The grass is always greener on the other side, but it's usually just better lighting. If you're scrolling Instagram and thinking, maybe I should work remotely from Thailand, I'm here to give you a brutally honest warning. That dream might destroy your mental health, your finances, and your sense of self faster than you can say, visa view to Laos. I'm not here to sell you a course. I'm not here to trash talk Thailand either. I love this country. I live here. But I've also watched the digital nomad dream chew people up and spit them out in a sweaty heap of self-doubt, debt, and expired non-immigrant visas. This is the story you don't see in your feed. I've lived this life for over 4 years. I've built a 6-figure remote business from cafe tables in Ekamai, held client calls at 2 a.m. in a Soi 11 hotel room, and met dozens of people who came to Thailand to live free, only to leave 6 months later, broke, burned out, and bitter. And the truth is, they were never free. They just traded one trap for another, one with better weather and cheaper pad crap. This is not going to be comfortable, but it might save you years of regret. Let's start with the biggest fantasy fueling this whole movement. Location independence equals freedom. Absolute bullshit. If that were true, why do I know people who visited 50 countries but can't go a single day without Wi-Fi panic? Why do so many free spirits in Chiang Mai spend their lives tethered to Slack, Zoom, Google Sheets, and the fragile hope their next visa extension gets approved? Here's what they don't tell you in the Bali Reels or the Phuket travel vlogs. Remote work abroad isn't about freedom. It's about running away. And whatever you're running from, it catches up with you somewhere between Suvarnabhumi Airport and your overpriced condo in Asoke. I learned this the hard way in year 2. I was living in a gorgeous studio off Sukhvit Soi 38, top floor, rooftop pool, modern gym. Rent was $550 0 cents for what would cost $4,500 0 cents back in San Francisco. I had the skyline, the sunset, the silence. I had made it. Every day, I woke up to Slack pings from clients in New York. Halfway through their workday while I was barely opening my eyes, I stayed up until 2 a.m. for calls with Toronto. I was up again at 6 for an Australian briefing. My entire sleep cycle was wrecked. I looked like I was living the dream, but I was exhausted. I was lonely. I was snapping at Grab drivers and drinking too many iced Americanos just to feel alert. People called me lucky. I felt like a prisoner. That's when I realized most digital nomads aren't location independent. They're location addicted. They're constantly running to the next co-working space, the next hidden gem beach town, the next cafe with decent Wi-Fi and the right type of oat milk. They're not building anything solid. They're staying busy enough to avoid the truth. The deeper I fell into this lifestyle, the more I noticed the mental patterns, not just in me, but in everyone around me. 1. Decision fatigue in disguise. When you live in one place, your brain works on autopilot for most things. Where to buy groceries, where to do laundry, what time the bus arrives. Boring, but automatic. Now compare that to my first month in Bangkok. I couldn't read street signs. The government websites looked like they were coded in 1998. I spent an entire day trying to figure out how to buy a Thai SIM card that wouldn't randomly shut off. I had to learn how to use Grab, Bolt, Line, Rabbit cards, and occasionally my legs, all in 1 week. By the time I sat down to actually work, my brain was fried. I'd spent 2 hours trying to register a bank transfer, sweating in 38 DG heat, surrounded by stray dogs and jackhammer construction noise. And then I had to write client deliverables? Yeah, right. My girlfriend at the time, a neuroscientist teaching at Chulalongkorn, told me something that hit hard. Your executive function is like a battery. If you drain it on survival, you've got nothing left for creativity. She was right. It's not the tropical weather that kills your productivity. It's the 1,000 tiny unknowns every single day that turn your brain into mush. You're in a chic cafe in Frankfurt, drinking matcha, surrounded by laptops and minimalism. But then someone posts a video from Krabi. Suddenly, you feel behind. Or you're loving Chiang Mai, but you see a couple parasailing in Pattaya. Now you feel stuck. No matter where you are, someone else is showing you the next better place. You don't live, you plan, compare, and resent. I once spent a full week in Phuket researching visas for Vietnam instead of swimming in the ocean literally 100 meters from my condo. Let's be honest, it's hard to do focused, deep work when you're surrounded by beauty. You're supposed to write emails to SaaS clients in Ohio, while a Thai fruit vendor is calling out below your balcony and monks are chanting in the alley behind you. Your brain rebels. It says, "We're in paradise. Why are we opening Google Analytics instead of going to Lumpini Park?" You can't focus because your environment screams vacation. And the guilt for not enjoying it properly, that's a whole other layer. After 4 years of watching this cycle repeat across Chiang Mai cafes, Koh Lanta co-working hubs, and Bangkok condos, I've realized something. Only 3 types of people actually thrive in this lifestyle, and none of them are doing it the way Instagram suggests. These are not your Sundowner, selfie, and pie crowd. These are engineers, consultants, copywriters, people who they stay in one location for 3-6 months. They have spreadsheets tracking internet speed, cost of living, hospital quality, and weather patterns. They know exactly what district of Bangkok fits their lifestyle. Zonglor for luxury. Onut for affordability. Audi for aesthetic cafes and expats. Saythorn for business. They've already joined expat Facebook groups before arriving. They know where to find a GP who speaks English, a co-working space with solid backup generators, and a Western-style gym with decent squat racks. I know a UX designer named Helena. Canadian, mid-30s, making $210 or cents K a year. She's been living in Thailand for 2 years. Every move is calculated, she told me once. Most digital nomads are tourists pretending to be professionals. I'm the opposite. I'm a professional who happens to move. These folks could work from anywhere, Bangkok, Berlin, or a bunker in Iceland, because their skills are that rare. They're high-level software architects, rare language translators, niche consultants, or financial strategists with international clientele. One guy I met in Chiang Mai was a crypto security auditor making $450.00/hour. He lived in a basic $300.00 apartment, didn't drink, didn't socialize much, and crushed deadlines like a machine. He wasn't here to be a nomad. He was here to enjoy a stable base while doing highly paid, high-leveraged work, not the fake coaching funnel influencers. I mean people who built real businesses, e-commerce brands, software companies, niche agencies. But here's the difference. They built the business first, then added travel. The ones who fail do it in reverse. They hit the airport with a backpack full of hope, a half-baked business idea, and a dream of freedom, only to get crushed by reality. The real ones? They already had clients, already had teams, already had SOPs. Travel was an upgrade, not an escape. One Australian I met runs a growing SaaS company with 9 remote employees. He spends 6 months a year in Bangkok because his wife is Thai, and the other 6 visiting clients across Asia. My business doesn't care where I am. That's the point. But I built that leverage before I ever booked my first AirAsia flight. So why do so many smart, ambitious, well-meaning people crash and burn within a year of working remotely in Thailand? I've boiled it down to 3 brutal mistakes. They obsess over Instagram followers, countries visited, and co-working aesthetics. Meanwhile, their savings are shrinking. Their business is stagnating. Their anxiety is quietly growing like mold in their Bangkok shower. Real success doesn't look good on Instagram. It looks like 8 hours of quiet, focused work in a bland condo before taking a walk to the local noodle shop. The most successful digital worker I know in Bangkok has 500 followers, never posts, and just bought his second rental property in cash. Traveling from Chiang Mai to Phuket to Krabi to Isan in 4 months feels productive. It's exciting, dynamic, full of new input. But guess what? You're not building, you're just moving. The people making progress are usually boring. They've been sitting in the same Bangkok apartment for 12 months, slowly stacking wins. You don't need new views. You need momentum. And momentum loves stillness. Most nomads underestimate the invisible price tag of their freedom. It's not just the flights and hotels. It's the psychological fragmentation, the hours lost on logistics, the tiny stressors that compound like credit card interest. Example: the 3 hours I lost renewing my visa at Cheongwatana Immigration, the half day spent trying to find a Western pharmacy when I had food poisoning in Ubon, the client I lost because the Wi-Fi dropped during a live demo in Koh Tao, the 10 hours I wasted looking for a new apartment because my building started daily jackhammer construction. In my first year, I calculated I lost nearly 30% of my total work hours to travel tasks. That's hundreds of hours I could have spent writing, selling, resting, or just breathing. The real damage most remote workers take from this lifestyle doesn't show up on their bank statement. It shows up in their mind and soul, not the romantic loneliness, not the "I'm finding myself on a beach" loneliness. I mean the silent, grinding, soul-numbing loneliness. I spent Christmas 2022 alone in a Bangkok condo. My local friends had gone to visit family in Isan. My digital nomad friends were in Koh Lanta. Back home, my friends were asleep. I ate leftover pad kapow from 7-Eleven and watched reruns of The Office with a Singa beer in hand, wondering, why the hell did I think this was a dream? I had people around me, but I had no one with me. Here's something they never warn you about. When you base your identity on being a nomad, what happens when you don't want to be one anymore? I've watched people force themselves to keep traveling because they built a YouTube channel around it, or a personal brand, or a podcast. Their audience expects Chiang Mai vlogs, not "I'm tired and want to go home." So they keep performing. They post happy photos, but their eyes tell the truth. I was one of them. Physically and mentally, this life takes a toll. You're eating out every day, not sleeping consistently. Air quality in Bangkok hits toxic levels. Your gym routine gets broken every time you change cities. You drink more than you mean to because socializing equals night here. I developed stomach issues from street food, insomnia from 2 a.m. Zooms, and mild anxiety from isolation. I gained 9 kg in 1 year. My energy crashed. My motivation dropped. But I kept smiling because, hey, you're living the dream, right? If you're still reading, you're probably asking yourself, okay, so is it even possible to make this work? The answer? Yes, but only if you treat it like a long-term strategy, not a vacation with a laptop. After 4 years of burning out, rebuilding, and watching others repeat the same mistakes, here's what I now believe it takes to actually succeed as a remote worker living in Thailand. If your reason for becoming a digital nomad is, I hate my job, I need a break, I want to figure things out, then don't come to Thailand. Because this country won't give you clarity, it'll give you cheap distractions, and those distractions will trick you into thinking you're evolving. Your why needs to be strategic, thoughtful, precise. I want lower living costs to extend my business runway. I want to expand my client base in Asia. I want to use geographic leverage to build savings while scaling up. Those are reasons that work. Without a clearly defined purpose, Thailand will consume you. One spicy noodle bowl, one sunset, one karaoke night at a time. Fast travel kills depth. The people I see burning out the fastest are the ones trying to do too much, too soon. Chiang Mai for 2 weeks, Bangkok for a month, Koh Tao for 10 days, Udon Thani for authentic vibes. Repeat. They never build a routine, never build relationships, never let the dust settle. Want to survive this lifestyle? Stay at least 3-6 months per location, ideally more. I've been in Bangkok for over a year now. My condo is quiet. My local bodega guy knows my name. The cafe downstairs knows my coffee order. My doctor is a 5-minute walk away. My gym has my towels ready. This stability is why I can actually do deep work. People think moving often equals growth, but in truth, stillness creates momentum. This one is non-negotiable. I'm in Bangkok, hoping to figure it out later. Thailand is not the place to find your calling, it's the place to scale what's already working. Build your freelancing base, your agency pipeline, your productized offer, your recurring client base. Only once your income is consistent and location independent should you consider moving. Otherwise, you'll just end up on a bar stool at Cheap Charlie's trying to pitch strangers your crypto course for rent money. The most emotionally stable nomads I know have some form of anchor. A home they return to in their country. A long-term apartment in Bangkok or Chiang Mai. A relationship with someone who grounds them. A community they're accountable to. I've seen too many people go full nomad, sell everything, cut ties, and try to float, only to lose themselves in the process. If you burn every bridge behind you, you have nowhere to return to when things go wrong, and things will go wrong. My advice, keep something that reminds you who you are. Here's what matters long term. Your mental health. Your real friendships. Your savings and investments. Your physical health. Your reputation in your field. Your capacity to do focused work. What doesn't matter. How many passport stamps you collect. How your life looks on Instagram. What influencers say about passive income. Whether your condo has if your co-working spot has artisanal kombucha. Stop optimizing for aesthetics, start optimizing for sustainability. Today I'm writing this from my quiet 45M2 condo in Phra Kanam. I've been here for almost a year, longest I've lived anywhere since I started this journey. My routine is boring. Wake up at 7, cold shower, gym by 8, deep work from 9 to 1. Local lunch, maybe spicy larb or roast pork and rice. Client calls in the afternoon. Read, walk, unwind. Some evenings I take the BTS to see friends or catch live jazz in Sukhumvit. Some nights I stay in and journal. No big adventures, no wild parties, no reels or montages. But guess what? My business is up 40% this year. I sleep 7-8 hours a night. I have friendships that feel rooted. I'm in the best shape of my life. I don't dread Mondays. This isn't some fantasy I stumbled into. It's a life I built, slowly, through systems, reflection, and a lot of failure. Thailand didn't save me, it gave me a blank canvas. But I had to learn how to paint. It's not, should I become a digital nomad in Thailand? It's, what am I trying to achieve, and is this the best environment to do that? If the answer leads you to Bangkok, great. Nobody's coming here just to escape a job, a breakup, a failure, or your own mind. Because Thailand won't heal what you haven't acknowledged. And the things you run from, they move faster than your passport can. The digital nomad dream isn't inherently bad. It's just often misunderstood. It's not a lifestyle, it's a tool. Like any tool, it can build something beautiful or cut deep when misused. Most people are misusing it. They think moving countries will solve internal problems. That's geography therapy, and it rarely works. You want to live in Thailand and work remotely? Fine. But don't do it for aesthetics. Do it because it makes sense for your goals. I still love Thailand. I love Bangkok. I'm grateful I can live here. But now I know this. The goal isn't to optimize your travel, it's to optimize your life. And for me, that means less movement, more meaning. If this made you think differently about remote work or helped you in any way, consider supporting me. The link to buy me a coffee is in the description. It keeps me fueled to write honestly instead of just saying what's popular. And if you're considering the leap to Thailand, I truly wish you clarity, not fantasy. Because the grass isn't greener in Bangkok. It's greener wherever you water it.